Before I begin, I'd like to show my respect and acknowledge the indigenous custodians of this land, of elders past and present, on which this event takes place. I'm presently in the Philippines gathering preliminary data for my dissertation project, so I want to thank Dr. Anita Chan for including me and organizing this panel. I also want to acknowledge my esteemed colleagues that share this platform with me today for allowing me to be part of such an amazing scholar community at Urbana-Champaign. Randy and I were band geeks since middle school. Our love for jazz, good food, and an investment in upholding integrity in our everyday lives made us close friends. Randy is now social media manager for one of the largest online companies in the world. He was the first person I thought of when I was tasked to collaborate in the co-creation and co-design of a teaching tool of our choice. This presentation is a reflection on the ongoing process of designing a collaborative learning syllabus. What are the similarities, differences, and compromises when working across professional boundaries that are often deemed unthinkable or taboo? An anthropology doctoral student and a corporate social media administrator negotiate the goals of a privatized institution in proposing critical scholarship and genealogies of socio-technical infrastructures of the everyday. As collaborative meetings came and went, decisions were made to focus the collaboration on a particular segment within a larger conceptual module in order to make progress in the completion of the project. At certain moments, the main theme of the course changed trajectories in order to think through how a public-private collaboration may yield a semester-long theoretical inquiry. The fraught configurations and utilization of collaboration in contemporary information infrastructures played itself out through the exchanges between my collaborator and myself. Randy and I met through digital communication 5 times within a span of 8 weeks during the fall semester of 2014. These discussions and brainstorming sessions lasted about an hour, and it often began with checking up on personal events, engaging perspectives on current issues circulating through various media and communication sources at the time. We often agreed on social, economic, and political stakes concerning various issues, and so I had assumed that assembling critical learning exercises and materials directed to predatory data collection and issues of surveillance in the guise of security would go without much friction. But as we discussed each other's stakes and resources, I found that we had to find a balance. He shared concern with the general public's lack of knowledge pertaining to the amount of data mining culled from their online selves, but he saw this more of a necessity than an imposition. He stated that our personal information becomes a transferable monetary equivalent for the social media services we are provided free of charge. I interpreted Randy's responses to my critical stance toward corporate marketing institutions as discomfort in engaging with harsh critiques on the infrastructures where he belongs. These were his colleagues and the systems that are built upon his career. Kim Fortune and Mike Fortune's concept of collaborative friendship, that is, quote, conceived as a way of relating to others that demands reciprocity, yet tolerates times out of joint, end quote, was a way to think through this point in the collaboration process. At the end of these conversations, I recognized that I also have to take into account Randy's investments and attachments to the object of study. It became apparent to me that I would need to find different ways of translating how I'm asking questions about social media listening. I wanted us to understand the pedagogical stakes about this object of study and develop a mutual understanding of how we may both become invested in the outcome. Once we agreed on reading material, we discussed how we can manage students in a large scale using their own experience in social media platforms. We went back and forth between using Twitter or Facebook for the activity. He explained that there are limitations and differences in advertising strategies that are deployed between the phone and web platform. We compromised on Facebook as a social media site for the exercise, so we don't have to group students in large lecture setup. We would ask individual students to see what ads they were served on their Facebook news feeds, then discuss how those particular topics and themes may be related to their own social media actions and activities. It took a while, and took many adjustments before we agreed on a plan of action. In negotiating a common boundary object, that of the syllabus, we had to agree on a standard model that would reach out to a broader public. The syllabus is configured as a living document that is meant to shift as the course community moves along the semester. It is a base suggestion where I hope to incorporate student strengths and work with student weaknesses in order to provide a thoroughly engaging learning experience. Keeping an open dialogue about the learning process points toward transparency of curricular requirements in addition to reshaping the ways learning publics interact with higher education infrastructures. As a collaborative project, the ongoing development of the syllabus moved away from the original semester-long design with my primary collaborator to a one-segment or one-week course module that I entitled Information Overload, Data Acquisition, and the Public-Private Divide. Placed in the middle portion of the course and situated within a larger conceptual framing of networked asymmetries and disjunctures, the collaboration resulted in gathering teaching materials to think through the amount of personal information that's being archived, collected, and used as capital within marketing economies. Upon further research and critical thought on how to organize curricular materials on this topic, I decided to make salient Lucy Suchman's nuance and relational configuration between human and machine interactions as a guiding concept for the course. Additionally, an examination of relational technology use in our everyday lives must include an analysis of power structures and its contributions to intersecting disjunctures and asymmetrical relations between various user communities. Thinking through the complex figurations and assemblages that make up socio-technical infrastructures over various temporalities, spatialities, and genealogies, this course design strives to provide an interdisciplinary advantage with a slant toward anthropological perspectives, toward the study of technologies and its daily uses. In the course of this co-creating project with Randy, those same frictive configurations were also ever present. Those disjunctures aside, we continue our collaborative friendship and seek more opportunities to work together. I had hoped to design a course with Frere's ideas of pedagogical practices in mind. The engagement of young students in higher education continues to be an experiment of what techniques, strategies, and materials end up connecting to most of the learning public. Thank you.